Okay, so finally the winners for the Dreams and Nightmares contest have been selected. Here are all the skins that made the cut. But we're not here to talk about how they look, if they look good or bad, all this is just subjective opinion. We are here to talk about whether the Dreams and Nightmares case could have an impact on the market, and if that could happen, then what would the impact be? First, we have somewhat of an answer about when the case is going to be introduced in the game. That's gonna happen over the coming weeks. I know it's not very precise, but at least we know it's gonna take a few weeks. We also have another lead that could indicate when the case is gonna come into the game, and that's the Stockholm souvenir packages. According to Valve, we're gonna be able to redeem souvenir packages until December 20th. And knowing that the case is gonna come in a few weeks, and that Valve likes to drop big updates all at the same time, we can kind of assume that the new case is gonna come on this day, or at least plus minus a week. Okay, but that doesn't answer the main question: how is it going to influence the market? Well, first of all, we know that the Dreams and Nightmares case isn't going to be a very special case, meaning that it's not gonna have an operation or anything like that tied to it. Of course, we don't know that for sure, but that's the most likely scenario. So let's check that right now together. We're gonna look at what happened when the Fracture case was introduced and the Prisma 2. I selected these two because they are recent, first of all, and because they didn't have anything like an operation tied to them. The Fracture case might be a bigger deal since it kind of ruined the Shattered Web case, but the Prisma case should have about the same level of influence as the Dreams and Nightmares case. As a reference, we're gonna look at the AK-47 Redline price chart. Why this item? Because it's kind of considered as an index fund in the Steam community market, just because most of the time it is rising slowly but steadily. And on this graph you can clearly see market crashes and all the events that happened during the history, just because the item is so old. When we look back at August 6, 2020, when the Fracture case was introduced, we can see a slight drop in the price. Nothing too big, nothing that would say it was worth to sell the item before that. And as I already mentioned, the Fracture case was pretty influential, but despite the small drop, the market recovered very quickly. And the Prisma 2 case arrived on March 31, 2020. At that time, the price went up an insignificant amount, so we can kind of say that there was no influence whatsoever, just because the graph looks normal and you wouldn't even be able to tell that there was a new case added here. Alright, we have finalized covering that, but there is another aspect that we have to consider, and that's the exceedingly rare items, which is the knives. The gamma finishes for the Spectrum knives, which are inside the Operation Riptide case. I've heard a lot of people say that the new Dreams and Nightmares case is going to have the same knives as the Riptide case, which does not make any sense. That would actually ruin profits for Valve. And if right now you're asking why I think so, just because the pass is still active. And if the new case would have the same finishes as this one, the price of the Riptide case is going to plummet, and nobody would be buying new passes just because they won't be profitable anymore. And I don't believe Valve wants that, they understand that, I hope. So that's my big reason why it wouldn't happen, just because they would kind of shoot themselves in the foot. It's better for them to release some kind of other finishes, and when the operation is over, then they can release the same finishes as during the operation, because then people won't be buying passes anyway. And that's why I think that for now the Riptide case is safe, but long term it's most likely to be ruined just like the other operation cases. And you know, there is one more thing I want to say about the Dreams and Nightmares skins. All the creators that won this contest, each of them got $100,000. Yeah, I know, it seems like a lot of money, but the creators actually could have gotten more if they have gotten the royalties instead of the lump sum. Unless they know how to invest that money, in that situation I guess it's better this way. As a conclusion, I want to say that the Dreams and Nightmares case is highly unlikely to influence the market if it's gonna be just a regular case like the Prisma 2, like the Fracture, and other not so important cases. But if it comes with some surprise that Valve has been preparing for us, then that could happen. In the near future there may be some things that will influence the market severely, but it won't be the new case. It's most likely going to be the discount on the tournament capsules, which is actually kind of late by normal terms, but it's still very likely to come around. And also, when the souvenir packages are taken out of the shop, the market could experience some stress. And it doesn't have to be December 20, right? This question is about when you can redeem the souvenir tokens, or until when. But they could be removed a week before that, 2 weeks before that, and just be able to redeem the tokens that you have already purchased, but not be able to purchase more. That's a possibility. If not, then oh well, at least we considered it. And also, it's likely that the capsules will be taken out of the store on the same day. And I think that was covering everything about the Dreams and Nightmares case, at least from the market side. I thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to drop a like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Huge shout out to Burb, Shrikar, Random Guy, Blaze, Vobi, and Roseman. You guys rock.